Okay, students. After we discuss both module 1 and module 2, as I've told in module 2, I have uploaded video for all the topics except programmable logic devices because it is with theory and you can read it. Anyhow, I have explained the same in online class. Online class, I have clearly explained about programmable logic devices. Even if you have any doubt, let us discuss once again. Please go through the notes and we'll see if any doubts, we'll discuss programmable logic devices again in online class. So today I'll be starting with the next topic, next module, that is, as I've told, in module 1 and 2 we have discussed about combinational circuits. In module 1 and 2 we have discussed about combinational circuits. So module 1, in module 1 we have discussed K-map and Quinn-McCluskey, and they are the two techniques what we have in order to simplify the expression for combinational circuits so that the circuits can be implemented using less number of gates to simplify the equation. And with the techniques whatever we have learnt in module 1, Quinn-McCluskey and K-map, we started designing some of the combinational circuits like adders, comparators, multiplexers, decoders, encoders and all. And now after we discuss the combinational circuit, we have the next module wherein we discuss about the sequential circuits. Okay, sequential circuit design part 1. You can take module 3 as sequential circuit design part 1. Again that continues in module 4 also. So before we start designing the sequential circuits, first it is very important for us to understand what are sequential circuits and how they are different from combinational logic circuits. And we have seen the definition of combinational logic circuits also. This is how we define, correct? Combinational logic circuit is a two-valued network where we define combinational logic circuits like this. Combinational logic circuit is a two-valued network where output depends on the present state of the input at any instant. That means when you take a combinational circuit, output you get, you derive an expression for output, and that expression will be in terms of inputs. Any example you take, either you take an example of comparator, or usually I will be taking an example for adder, half adder. We have sum and carry output. So what is the equation for sum? We get A XOR B, correct? Sum is equal to A XOR B, where A, B are the inputs. Similarly for full adder, sum is equal to A XOR B XOR C. A, B, C are the inputs. So at any instant, the output depends on the present state of the input. That is your combinational circuit. Whereas sequential circuit, output is not only depends on the present state of the input, present condition of the input, it also depends on the past history of the input. It also depends on the past history of the inputs. So we will have a feedback for sequential circuits. Let me repeat, in sequential circuit, output, it doesn't depend only on the present state of the input. It also depends on the past history of the inputs. What is that past history? How exactly equations are written? How exactly sequential circuits are designed? That is what your module 3-4 is about. So that is how we define. As of now, you can just remember, you can just try to understand or remember the definition of sequential circuits. Maybe by the end of this particular module, and when we start discussing the sequential circuits, you will be more, you understand more about sequential circuits, and then you can define the sequential circuits comfortably. So sequential circuits are also two-valued network. Digital system, any circuit you design, output will be either 0 or 1. Combinational circuit is also two-valued network. Sequential circuit is also two-valued network. Output is either 0 or 1. But here the main difference is output is not just depending on the present condition of the input, it also depends on the past history of the input. So who will store that past history? How will I get that past history to design the sequential circuit? So the element that we use to store the past history or the previous state of the circuit is nothing but the memory element. So the second difference between combinational circuit and sequential circuit would be, in combinational circuits we don't have any memory element because we don't need, as the output is just depending on the present state of the input. But in sequential we need to store the past history, so we will have a memory element. That memory element is nothing but your flip-flops. Generally we will go for flip-flops, right, which stores one bit information. So that is what the difference between sequential and combinational. So third difference will be the examples. Give some examples for combinational circuits. As I said, adders, subtractors, comparators, decoders, encoders, multiplexers, all these will come under combinational logic circuits. Sequential circuits we'll see. Once we design the circuit, you yourself can list out some of the examples for sequential circuits. Okay. So that is about the definition of sequential circuits. Exam, one important question will be differentiate between combinational logic circuits and sequential logic circuits. So minimum 3 differences you can write, which fetches around 5 to 6 marks. Okay. So that is about the definition of sequential circuits. Again, in sequential circuits we have two types. One is synchronous sequential circuits, the other one is asynchronous sequential circuits. Again, I don't want to take the difference between synchronous and asynchronous now itself, because we still have to understand a lot about sequential circuits. But just to tell you what is synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous, you will have a master clock pulse in synchronous circuits, which generates a clock pulses which controls the output of the circuit or the counter. Okay. But in asynchronous, I cannot tell in asynchronous we don't have any clock pulse. We will be having a clock pulse in asynchronous, but that will be given only for the first flip-flop. So when we define the asynchronous counter, we generally define like this. In asynchronous in asynchronous networks, in asynchronous circuits, output is not controlled by any of the input. Output responds immediately for the input change. But in synchronous, output will not respond immediately. It waits for the master clock or clock signal. Okay. So that is what the main difference. Again, we will be taking these two topics again when we start designing the sequential circuits. Now, you should be able to differentiate between combinational and sequential. Now, as I said, we will be having a memory element in sequential circuit, correct? We will have a memory in sequential circuits. I said that memory is nothing but your flip-flops. So, what is the general structure of a flip-flop, or how that memory element will be? So, let us now discuss more about the memory element that is usually called as a bistable element. Bistable element. Exam. One question may be explain bistable element in case of sequential circuits. Bistable element. Bistable. Sequential circuit is a two-valued network, right? Two-valued means it can either output can be either 0 or 1. So, past history of the input, or we tell that bistable element can store either 0 or 1. So, we have two stable states. State is nothing but state. We generally tell state of the counter, state of the flip-flop, state of the memory element, state of the latch. What is the meaning of state? The information that is stored in the element. The information that is, if a flip-flop is storing 0, I tell the state of the flip-flop is 0. If a flip-flop is storing 1, I tell the state of the flip-flop is 1. So, state is nothing but the information stored in the memory element or in the flip-flop, okay, or the counter. So, state, whenever I tell state, that means what is the information, what is the content that is stored in the flip-flop or a latch or a counter, okay. So, we have two stable states, by two stable states, that is either 0 or 1. Flip-flop is 1-bit storage element, it can store either 0 or 1. Flip-flop is generally used as memory element. So, 0 or 1, two states we have, two stable states, one is 0, other is 1. So, you can make a memory element to store either 0 or 1. Your past history of the input will be either 0 or 1, that will be stored in the memory element, which is nothing but a bistable element. So, I will write the general structure of bistable element. To explain this bistable element, I will consider a very simple gate, that is a NOT gate. I will consider a very simple gate, basic gate, that is NOT gate. So, if you are giving X as input to this NOT gate, okay, the output here I will take it as Q, okay. So, this output will act as input to the other gate. Okay, so this output will be taken as Q bar. This output is nothing but X. Okay, input is what? X, which is nothing but what? Q bar. What is the input to other NOT gate? Q. You can call this as Y. Y is nothing but Q. So, very simple gate I have taken, which is NOT gate. Depending on the type of the flip-flop or latch, the gate will vary. Okay. So, just to start with bistable element, to explain what is bistable element, I have simply taken a very simple gate where this is a bistable element where output is not just depending on the present state, it also depends on the previous state of the input. Okay, previous input, the past history of the inputs. So, now what is the output here? Q. Output here is Q. Q bar is just the complement of Q. Q bar, here it is Q bar, whatever the output you get here, the complement of that you are going to get here. You need not worry too much about Q bar. Q bar is always the complement of Q. If Q is 0, Q bar is 1. If Q is 1, Q bar is 0. That's all. You need to worry about only Q. What is Q if you decide? Q bar is just the complement. So, what is the output of this element? Q. Depending on this, you are going to tell the state of the bistable element. So, Q is the output or Q is the content of the bistable element. So, this element will store the value Q. Whether Q can be either 0 or 1. So, take for case 1. Case 1 is what? Consider X as 0. Consider X as 0. If X is equal to 0, what is Q? This is a NOT gate, right? So, if X is equal to Q, Q is equal to what? 1. If Q is equal to 1, what is Q bar? 0. Q bar is 0 obviously. Very simple. If X is 0, Q NOT gate, Q will be equal to 1. That Q is nothing but the input for the second NOT gate. So, if this is 1, what is Q bar? 0. So, what is the state of the flip-flop? 1. Q bar is just the complement of Q. Similarly, case 2. Case 2, if X is equal to 1. If X is equal to 1, what is Q? Q is equal to 0. What is Q bar? 0 will come here, NOT gate, output is what? 1. So, Q bar is equal to 1. So, if X is equal to 1, what is Q? 0. So, this is the state of the flip-flop. We have only two possibilities. X is 0, X is 1. When X is 0, what is the state of the flip-flop? 1. So, this is the first stable state. When X is equal to 1, what is the state? 0. This is the second stable state of the element. Second stable state. So, this is a bistable element. If X is 0, the state is 1. If X is 1, the state is 0. What is the meaning? If you want to store 0, in this element, give X as 1. If you give X as 1, it stores 0. If you give X as 0, it stores 1. So, using this, you can store two 1-bit information, 0 or 1. If you want to store 0, give X as 1. If you want to store 1, give X as 0. That's all. Okay. So, this is the general structure of bistable element. Basic bistable element. Basic bistable element will be like this. Two stable states. One is 0, 1. Okay. So, with this, let us now start the discussion. Let us now start the discussion of different memory elements we have. So, we have latches and flip-flops. Latches and flip-flops are used to store 1-bit information. Latches and flip-flops. What is latch and what is flip-flop? You have learnt in your basic electronics. We have SR flip-flop, D flip-flop, T flip-flop, JK flip-flop. We also have SR latch, D latch. What is the meaning? What is the difference between latch and flip-flop? I can generally, to understand, flip-flop is nothing but latch plus clock. Flip-flop is nothing but latch plus clock. I think now you can tell me what is latch. Latch is a flip-flop without a clock. So, how to define latch? Latch is also a memory element. Flip-flop is also a memory element. But in latch, output responds immediately for the input. This can be taken as a latch. If X is 0, immediately output responds. What? 1. If x is 1, immediately output response what? 0. Will it wait for any other signal? No. So latch output response immediately the input changes. But flip-flop output will not change as soon as you change the input. It will wait for one more control signal that is called as clock. So you have to give the clock. Only then the output of the flip-flop changes with respect to depending on what input you have given. So flip-flop is same as latch with a clock pulse. But whereas when in latch we will not be having a clock pulse. We will not be having a control input. Flip-flop same works as latch. It is also a 1-bit storage element, but the output depends on the clock pulse or the enable input or a control input. We can call it as a control input. So latch is without a control input, but flip-flop is latch plus a control input. That control input could be your enable input clock pulse. Generally it is a clock pulse. Okay. So this is the basics of sequential circuits. Next let us start our discussion with latch. Okay, very important, very important. Okay, latch. Latches. The first type of latch we have is, let us now discuss SR latch. SR latch. SR latch, memory element, bistable element. So it should be, the general structure of bistable element should be what? Like this. 2 NOT gates we have written, no, it should be the same. But here in SR latch, it is not the NOT gate, instead it is a NOR gate. Structure is same, you can just observe here. We have 2 NOR gates instead of NOT gates, that's all. Okay. So this is S and this is R. These two are the inputs to, one of the input to NOR gates. The other input for the first NOR gate is this output. The other input for this NOR gate is this. Okay, so this is Q and this is Q bar. Okay, hope it is clear. Very simple. You just remember the definition of sequential circuits. Sequential circuits, output is not just depends on the present state of the input, it also depends on the past history, previous state of the circuit. So the inputs to first NOR gate is R and Q bar. Input to second NOR gate is S and Q. Okay, you have to write R here as an S here. If you write R as here, you can write in your table, see generally for a combinational circuit we write truth table, right? But in sequential circuit we call the table as function table. Which is nothing but truth table in combinational circuits. So function table, what will we have? We will have the inputs and the outputs. Output here is what? Q bar. Okay. So next I write here state. State means it tells us flip-flop is in which state. Okay. That is very important, right? State is very important. So latch is in which state? We have to write there. So that is the function table. These are the columns we will have in function table. The inputs S and R, these two are the inputs. These two are the inputs and these are outputs. And this will clearly tell us in which state the latch is or the flip-flop will be. Here is latch. Okay. So if you write R S here, you can write S R here. If you want to write S here, R here, you can write R first, S first. It is reverse. I'll tell you why. Okay. I'll tell you why. So now this is a circuit and that is a function table I have written. So now how many inputs we have given? 2 inputs, S and R. So now I have to change these 2 inputs such a way that this should store either 0 or 1. So I have, remember this is a memory element. My intention is to store an element, either 0 or 1. By using what? By using the inputs. R and S are the inputs. What happens to the memory element when I give 0, 0, when I give 0, 1, when I give 1, 0, when I give 1, 1? That is what I have to analyze and fill in the function table. So I have got 2 inputs. So how many different combinations I get? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. These are the 4 possible combinations I will have for any flip-flop or a latch with 2 inputs, right? Any flip-flop with 2 inputs, we will have the combination 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So now, what happens when I give the input as 0, 0? Okay, what happens when I give the input as 0, 0? When I give S as 0, R as 0, this bistable element, SR latch, will store what? When I give 0, 0, what is the state of this latch? Hope you can see the diagram, whatever I am writing. Yeah. Okay. So what is the state of the latch? Now please be very careful. If you understand the first latch, later on you yourself can analyze. Very simple it is. Let me give S and R inputs here and analyze. So first case 1. What is case 1? This is, as you can see. Okay. What is case 1? When S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0. When S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0. I give S as 0 and R as 0. Can you tell me the output? No. Why? This is a NOR gate. One input is 0. Okay, I have given. What is the other input? Here, S is 0 I have given. What is the other input? Without the other input, I cannot tell the output of NOR gate. I want to know what is the other input. But what is that other input? Other input is previous state. Previous state, previous content of the latch. What is the previous content? We don't know. It can be either 0 or 1. It is Q, right? Please don't take this as 2 outputs. It is only one output. It is always Q. You don't tell that we have 2 outputs. So possible previous state could be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. No. It is always one output. It is better you don't consider this Q bar at all. It is only one output Q. Q bar is just the complement of Q. That's all. So this previous state can be either 0 or 1. Now when I take S as 0, R as 0, now I have to analyze the output again for 2 conditions. What is the previous state? Depending on that, now the output, now the next state of the latch I have to decide. Previous state. What is the previous state? It can be either 0. Previous state can be either 0 or 1. Previous state can be either 0 or 1. Previous state can be either 0 or 1. Correct. If I know the previous state, I can easily analyze. I don't know, but so I have to consider both the cases. I have to assume previous state as 0 and see what is the output. Also, I have to assume previous state as 1 and see what is the output. But what is SR? 0, 0. Now, shall we assume Q as 0? The previous state as 0. Assume the previous state as 0 here. Assume the previous state as 0. Okay, I will assume Q as 0. Previous state, the previous past history, I will assume the past history as 0. So now what happens? 0. 0 will come here. What is 0 nor 0? 0, 0, nor output is what? 1. Nor output is 1. So I will write it in white. I don't know whether you can see the purple color, whatever I have written. If Q is 0, 0 will come here, right? So what is Q bar? 0, 0, 1. I said Q bar will be the complement of Q, right? Look, we are getting the complement. Okay? So now, this is 1. So this 1 will come here. This 1 will come here. Okay? So what is 0 nor 1? Nor truth table. Nor 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. 1, 0, 0, 0. This is the truth table of NOR gate. So look at the truth table. If any one of the input is 1, output of NOR gate is 0. You need not see the other input. If any one of the input is 1, output will be 0. NOR gate output will be 1 only when both the inputs are 0. So one of the input is 1, 1, 0. What is the output we get? 0. So what is 0? This is the next state. This is the previous state. This is the next state. Correct? So 0. What is the output? Next state. 1. Complement you are going to get. So white color, whatever I have written, it is the assumption, previous state. So by assuming previous state as 0, I got the next state as 1. Here it is 0. So what is next state? Q. If the previous state is 0, next state is what? 0 again. 0 again. So if previous state is 0, next state is what? Again I am getting 0. What is Q plus bar? 1. Complement of Q. Please don't worry more about this. Q bar is just the complement of Q. Direct. So Q plus, I am writing it as Q plus because it is the next state. Because previous state I am taking it as Q. You can take this as Q plus and Q plus bar. Because we are writing the next state assuming previous state as Q. Here we have assumed previous state as 0. So what is the next state I got? 0. Now let us assume previous state as 1 and see what is the output we get. Assume previous state as 1. What is S and what is R? It is still 0, 0. I am still giving SR 0, 0. Previous state is 0, next state I got it as 0. Now I give previous state as 1. If previous state is 1, what is Q bar? 0. These two are previous conditions, previous state. So now give 1 here. 1, 0. What is 1, 0? 0, right? If any one of the input to NOR gate is 1, output is 0. 0. Again 0 will come here. 0, 0. 1. Look at the next state. Look at the next state. Again next state is same as previous state. This is previous state. If previous state is 0, next state is 0. If previous state I give it as 1, next state is also I am getting it as 1. So if previous state is 1, Q plus is also equal to 1. Q plus bar is 0. This is very important for us. This is very important. So if previous state is 0, next state is 0. If previous state is 1, next state is 1. So when you give S is 0, R is 0, what is the output you are getting? What is the state of the flip-flop? Same as previous state? State of the flip-flop is same as previous state. If you previously have stored 0, now also it is 0. Previously if you had stored 1, now also it is 1. So state of the flip-flop will not change when you give state of the latch. State of the latch will not change when you give S as 0, R as 0. That means the next state is same as previous state. The next state is same as previous state. Q represents previous state. Latch, initially I have stored 0. Now I will make S0, R0. Now also it is 0. Initially I will store 1. Now I will make S0, R0. Now also it is 1. So latch stores the same information, previous information when I give S as 0 and R as 0, SR latch. This is case 1. What is case 2? So case 2 I read it here. Case 2. What is case 2? When S is 0, R is 1. When S is 0, R is 1. When S is 0, R is 1. Let us analyze. S is 0, R is 1. Okay. S is 0, R is 1. Okay. Again, the other input I want. But look at the circuit carefully. Look at the circuit carefully. Take this NOR gate. One of the input is 1. R is 1. One of the input is 1. This is NOR gate truth table. What is NOR gate? When any one of the input is 1, you need not worry about the second. Output is what? 0? 0, 1, 0. 1, 0 or 0. 1, 1, 0. So when any one of the input to a NOR gate is 1, output is 0. So what is Q? 0. If Q is 0, what is Q bar? 1. Q is 0, Q bar is just the complement. So for the second case, you need not worry about the previous state. You can directly tell the next state is 0 because for the upper NOR gate, that is R, 1. So if this is 1, Q is 0. So what is the output? What is, even if irrespective of the previous state, when S is 0, R is 1, what is next state? Next state is 0. Next state is 0. Okay? Because why we are not considering the previous state? Because previous state is the other input. Even without that, I can decide the output of first NOR gate. That is Q. We are worried about Q, right? So when R is 1, when any one of the input to the NOR gate is 1, Q is 0. Q bar, I know it is obviously 1. So, when S is 0, R is 1, what is the state? Q plus is what? 0. What is Q bar? 1. State of the flip-flop, you have to see Q. What is state of the flip-flop? Reset, clear or clear. We call this state as reset or clear. So, look at the input. When R is 1, R, reset. When R is 1, it resets the latch. It clears the latch. Or the state of the latch is 0. The state of the latch is 0. R is 1. R, reset, clear. Okay. Next, when you give S as 1 and R as 0. R as 0, S as 1. S as 1. So, second NOR gate, one of the input is 1. When any one of the input to the NOR gate is 1, what is the output? 0? If Q bar is 0, what is Q? 1. Correct? If Q bar is 0, Q is 1. So, again here we need not consider the previous state. So, S is 1. So, what is state? Q. So, case 3. S is 1, R is 0. What is Q plus? 1. Q plus is what? 1. What is Q plus bar? 0. What does mean? What is the meaning? You are storing 1. That means set. Or you call it as preset. Preset. So look at here. When S is 1, it sets the latch. Set. That means latch will store 1. If R is 1, it resets. That means the state of the latch or the latch will store 0. That is why I said if you are taking R as like this, you have to write SR 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Only then you will get, when R is 1, you get the state as 0. When S is 1, state is set. Okay. Now what happens when S is 1 and R is 1? What happens? Case 4. Case 4. When S is 1, R is 1. When S is 1 and R is 1. 1, 1. Look at the condition. When any one of the input to NOR gate is 1, what is the output? 0. When any one of the input to NOR gate is what? Output is 0. So look at Q and Q bar. We are getting both 0, which is not possible. We are getting both 0, which is not possible. When any one of the input to NOR gate is 1, output is 0. So for both the NOR gate, one of the input is 1. Output cannot be 0 because Q bar has to be the complement of Q. But here we are getting both 0, which is called as undefined state, metastable state. You can either write X, you need not write anything, you can put a line over here, or you can write 0 star. The star indicates it is in metastable state. Metastable state is nothing but the state which is intermediate between state 0 and state 1. We don't want the flip-flop, when the flip-flop enters the metastable state, it requires, we cannot predict when the latch or the flip-flop will come to a stable state. So, generally when we are using the latch or a flip-flop, we should not make the latch to enter into metastable state. So, SR latch will be used only for these 3 conditions. We will not be using SR latch for the 4th condition, which is undefined, which is not possible for SR latch. So, how will you store 0 in SR latch? You give 0, 1. How will you store 1 in SR latch? You give 1, 0. How will you retain the previous bit? By giving S as 0, R as 0. So, this is what is SR latch. Along with that, we also have to write the logic symbol for all the circuits, whatever we write in sequential circuit. So, this is the logic. This is how we write the logic symbol. One box you put, just write the inputs this side, output this side. Here, how many inputs we have? SR. So, S, you can write Rs. How many output? Q. Q bar, which is the complement of Q. So, this is how we write the logic symbol. Put a box, write the inputs. How many inputs you have for a sequential circuit? You write it here. Outputs this side. For this circuit, I have only 2 inputs, S and R, and 2 outputs, Q, Q bar. So, the logic symbol for SR latch will be like this. Okay, and you have to remember the function table because using flip-flops or the latch, we will be designing counters. Every time we cannot analyze the circuit, keep analyzing the circuit and decide. So you have to remember, you have to by heart or you have to remember the function table of all the flip-flops. SR flip-flop 0, 0, previous state. 0, 1. When R is 1, reset. When S is 1, set. That's all. Okay, it is not possible in SR flip-flop, SR latch. That is one of the disadvantage we have in SR latch. Again in SR flip-flop, hence we will go for the next flip-flop, which is nothing but JK. We will discuss JK flip-flop afterwards. So next class I will be discussing one of the application of SR latch. Okay.